Morning everybody. Today is MOT day. So this is the first MOT that our van's needed since having it new in 2021. So touch wood, fingers crossed everything will be fine. But it'd be good to get it checked and find out for sure anyway. And we've got a service after that as well. So we've just pulled up now, we're at VLS, Vehicle Life Support in Wells. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Right, so that's the van dropped off. And we've got to wait for about an hour.
Hour for the MOT and then another hour for the service, or longer I think.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing else to do today, so perfect day to do it.
Yeah. That's the MOT done, passed, all good. So we should be good for another year, touch wood. That's really nice to know.
Yeah, went straight through, no problem. We were going to have the service straight after the MOT, but sort of like working with each other, we're going to go away, get a cup of coffee and come back for 1 o'clock, and then get the service, which is a full service on this occasion. We're going to speak to Adrian when we go back and he'll explain about the warranty thing, hopefully. So yeah, so that's all good.
Yeah, so it's a good start to the day. And now we're on our way to get the van serviced. It's a full service, isn't it?
It is.
What's the difference between a full service and not a full service?
This one's bigger. I don't know. So, we've had this van since 21.
Yeah.
And we've just coming up to 13,000 miles.
So not much?
Well, not much for a van that's probably, you know, engineered to do hundreds of thousands of miles, but a lot compared to an awful lot of other camper vans and motorhomes that are on the road.
Yeah, for the first 2 years, 2.5 years, it was mainly sat on the driveway, wasn't it? We didn't do a lot.
Like most people.
Yeah.
Which actually I would argue that because we use ours every day, and all right, it's going to have a slightly higher mileage, but it'll be completely meticulously maintained and used every day. Whereas one of the worst things you can do is not use an engine in a vehicle, bearings.
No, I don't know about that.
Oh, I think that's very true. No, I don't know either. But.
Let's ask our mechanic. Yeah, let's ask our mechanic. Let's ask Adrian, see what he says. Not that I'm doubting what you say, I just don't know. We're not sure what it's going to cost us yet. But it's going to be a hell of a lot less than if it was at a main dealer, that's for sure. And hopefully we'll get Adrian to explain a bit about that in a minute. So we're here at VLS to get we've had our van MOT this morning and we're here for a full service, which is one question. What's the difference between a full service and not a full service?
Generally in garages you get 2 services, with full service and an interim service.
Right.
Full service is like an annual service.
Yeah.
It covers your oil filter, your air filter, fuel filters if you have one, spark plugs if it's petrol. And then we'll add various additives to the fuel system to clean the injectors and so on. An interim service tends to be, for most of my customers, something that the higher miler users do every 6 months in between the full services. Right. Because they do the higher mileage, it's good to change the oil more regularly, and that just generally consists of an oil and filter change and a recheck of your lights, your levels, tyre pressures, and the simple stuff that most people should do themselves. But
yeah, so for warranty purposes, it's a full service that.
So from a warranty point of view, under the manufacturer's warranty, you'll have a guideline in your book, like that, which will tell you how often the vehicle should be serviced. Right. So every manufacturer is slightly different. But most vehicles, depending on what you've got, have a reminder on your dashboard, all programmed into the dashboard, and it'll beep up.
Do we have that?
You don't. Do you have on that one?
I don't think we do.
Maybe not.
No. We'll find out when I do it in a minute. But,
okay.
Yeah, that'll beep up depending on a time or a mileage basis. So if you're doing a lot of mileage, it will come up. If you've not done the mileage after a certain period of time, it will flag up because obviously oil degrades naturally, whether you're just sat in the engine doing nothing, same as like a cooking oil would, for example.
Which was another thing we were just discussing. Will was saying that it's good to keep a vehicle on the move, keep it running, rather than like a lot of motorhomes and camper vans might be stood for a long period of time.
Yeah, definitely, without doubt. Certain things like brakes and things, if you can imagine, they just sit there. The wheels don't rotate.
Yeah.
So any rain that might get into the brakes will drop to the lowest part of the brake drum if you've got drums, and just sit there and do nothing. If you've got the handbrake left on, the handbrake cable can go off from the stick, and when you go to pull away, it won't release.
Right.
So yeah, not using a vehicle is probably worse than using it too much.
So how often should you use it then, if you have got one that's sat there, not doing a lot over the winter?
Again, each vehicle will be slightly different depending on the electrics that are on the car. Most newer stuff, with the electronics on them, they will go a winter quite happily on a battery without causing any issues.
Yeah.
It is just moving the brakes, moving the tyres. If it's like out in the sun, most rubber tyres now, the rubber's so crap that they start to perish in the UV from the sun. So if your van's out in the sun, it'll wear the rubber out and cause it to crack and perish. So again, you can get like wheel covers for caravans and things. They help stop the tyres perish. It's always a good thing if you're not using it. Otherwise, just get it moving, get the heat cycle through the tyres, get them warmed up, get the brakes moving, get the engine moving.
Okay.
I guess if you did it once a month for 20 miles, you'd probably be more than sufficient.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong to it, if you know what I mean. Every car's slightly different. And then you can go and look after a car, do all the oil changes as you should do as per manufacturer specification. The engine will still blow up prematurely.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's...
Can't win.
No, mechanics are they are what they are.
Yeah.
You do what you do to it's preventive maintenance really, and
Yeah.
that's what service is. You're preventing something from going wrong as opposed to fixing it when it goes wrong.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of service, is we try to keep it to a as new standard, as close to as new standard as we possibly can.
A lot of people think that you have to go to a main dealer to have your service done to keep your warranty intact.
It's standard sales practice from any business to sell a product, car or whatever, and then try and convince you to use their services thereon. So they don't obviously mention your options. Why would they mention your options? They want to keep you in-house. Should you bring it up to the dealer, can I take it elsewhere? By law, they're supposed to make it clear to you due the the European block exemption. I think it's changed since we left the EU to a UK exemption, that due to like competition rights and so on, that you're allowed to use other garages providing they use what they call OE equivalent parts, equivalent or better.
Yeah.
And that it's VAT garage, so they just as long as they're VAT registered. So yeah, the extended warranty, if you were to purchase an extended one beyond the 2, 3, 5 year you initially get with a new vehicle, the extended warranty is not bound by the block exemption system. There'll be small print in the manufacturer's extended warranty that will say, or could say, that you have to use them specifically, not a VAT registered garage, so to speak. It's a loophole that the dealers use to get you back. It's the same as the warranty direct sort of companies that sell second-hand cars. They're not actually warranties, they're insurance policies. And you've got to be very careful with those, because if you ring them, you activate an external warranty from the manufacturer's warranty or the seller's warranty. So it's all in a small print on their terms on those side of things. But that's separate from a manufacturer's warranty and an extended warranty. They're two different things. Most parts that most garages that I've ever dealt with always use parts that are OE equivalent or better.
What's OE?
So OE is original equipment.
Right.
So if you went to Fiat, you get a Fiat part. If you went to BMW, you get a BMW part. But on that BMW air filter, for example, would be a manufacturer known as Mann-Hamel. And their part. So Mann-Hamel are actually making the part for BMW.
Okay.
So we would buy Mann-Hamel parts, or Fram parts, or Wix parts.
So that's just before they've been branded to a particular model?
Yeah, BMW don't make their own filters.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be cost effective for them to do that. They would use other companies, UFI, Mann-Hamel, so on and so on. And they're the parts that we get that are branded as Mann-Hamel, UFI, or whatever, not with BMW written on.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you can use any garage providing they're VAT registered and they use OE equivalent or better, the parts meet or exceed. And that's to stop competition problems, because otherwise the dealers can charge what they want for their servicing.
And they have been.
And they do, and they have been. They don't make it clear to their clients that they have the option of going elsewhere.
No.
But they're not legally obliged to do that either.
Okay.
They just make it clear what services they offer.
So if you ask, they should tell you, but they're not going to be forthcoming with...
I had a Suzuki some years ago. it was only on a 3-year lease, and I didn't want to have the hassle that I'd had with a Mitsubishi previously. So I took it to to Suzuki for the first service, and then the second one come round, and I thought, do I want to do it myself? I need an oil and filter change. So I did, and when I took the filter off, it was a Wix filter, which is not an issue because they meet or exceed Suzuki specification.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a Suzuki one, which is where they should have fitted. When I went back after 3 years to hand the car back, and they were quibbling over the condition of the vehicle and so on, one of the questions he asked me was, has it been fully serviced by Suzuki? And I said, the first one was done by yourselves, the second one was done by me, a garage. And he pulled a funny face, and I said to him, don't start that, mate. I took off a Wix filter when I serviced it, not a Suzuki one.
Brilliant.
So just because it's going back to the main dealers doesn't always mean they're using genuine parts.
And how would you know? We wouldn't know, would we? We wouldn't have a clue.
No, most people wouldn't have a clue. So.
Well, that's brilliant information. Thanks for that.
It's no problem.
And I'll let you get on with our service.
Yeah.
And then pay you some money.
Yeah.
That's great, thank you.
Absolutely.
Who's this?
That's Frank.
Hey, Frank.
And he's never seen a camera before.
So we're just going in to collect the camper van now. Hopefully everything's gone well.
Good your way?
Good my way.
All right, you're lucky.
Thanks, Adrian.
Cheers, Adrian. What is it today? We were cold last night, weren't we?
Yeah,
And now it is toasty.
really is.
Both got jacketed up today because we knew we were off on a big wander. And it is flipping. I could have been in a t-shirt all day, could you?
Yeah, I could. I think we're getting acclimatised to being in the cold
Yeah. you will be.
already.
Ooh, what's your plan there, mate?
Unless it is really hot. Have a look at the thermometer.
Yeah, the magical thermometer that always says it's 15 or 18.
We need to blow some cold air in.
Yes, we do.
What's the date today? November?
The 14th.
November the 14th.
Remember.
14th of November.
Yes. I'm drinking ginger ale. As opposed to ginger beer. Because as we all know, ginger ale is made by mixing ginger and syrup. No, ginger and syrup. Whereas ginger beer is made by fermenting.
Ginger and syrup, wasn't it? Ginger syrup and soda water.
Yeah. This is made by...
I didn't care about that to Google.
Ginger ale is made by mixing ginger syrup with soda water or club soda. Or ginger beer is made by fermenting ginger and mixing it with sugar. I have only just started my journey on the ginger drinks, and so far I'm having ginger ale, which I bought for Tom the other day because she felt a bit queasy, but she didn't drink it because
She felt a bit queasy.
she felt a bit queasy. Yeah. So I'm now drinking it, and then I'm going to try ginger beer. And I have to say, having never had a ginger anything, I do like ginger biscuits. It's really lovely.
Lashings of ginger beer then.
Ginger beer. Yeah. So we've had a full service, an MOT. We've used an
Handbrake adjusted.
handbrake adjusted, which is really nice and short now, whereas before it was gangling up. Has been since we bought the van. I joke that Tom broke it, but she didn't. It's been fouling the captain seat since we got it. That's now been sorted. The van didn't need anything else, and you've just paid. I don't know how much it was. How much was it?
It was £291.20p.
Oh, yeah, really. Well, that's amazing. So there you go. That was the service and the first MOT on this van. Do check yourself, check your own warranties. If you've taken out an extended warranty, double check that. Check the small print, because you're dealing essentially then with an insurance company, and we all know what they're like. So check for your own satisfaction, not necessarily do it as we're doing it, because we're happy with the way we do it. You be happy with the way you're doing it. And check with your garage, have a chat with your person. Yeah, get all the information you can. Next week, we're back to Highbridge for our hab check, which is our third hab check, I think, isn't it? So we will check out their stock, because we have to wait around for a good few cold hours.
And then we'll be set. MOT, service, hab check.
Yeah.
All done. That'd be great when it's ready for the new year.
Thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe.
Every subscription makes us very happy.
It's done you incredibly happy.
It does. It really does. So subscribe. Thank you.
Cheers.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.